Welcome to One Life Dayz. In this series, I get one life and it's over. I've chosen a low to medium pop server and I hope to survive for a long time. Most importantly, I hope this series makes your day a little bit better. Through each episode, I'll ask questions and start conversations, and I'll read and respond to all of your comments in the next episode. I hope to get to know you better, and I hope to live a long Dayz life. But this is Dayz, and your lights can go out anytime. Grenade.
Joy.
0 hours survived. The start of a new Dayz survivor is a beautiful thing. This is the random character we got. I think we'll name her Dove, because I looked up words that mean like peaceful, calm. I guess Dove means peaceful or calm. I don't know, something like that. My name's Matthew in real life. You don't hear kids named Matthew much anymore. Back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, I never had a class with less than 3 Matthews in it. You know how names cycle in and out. Well, our girl is going to be named Dove. And we're not going to try anything crazy other than lighting up a glow stick at night. But I do that for your benefit as the viewer, so you can see the screen better on your phones, wherever you're watching from. Maybe you got a 60-inch TV you're watching from. Let me know in the comments. What are you watching it on right now? Are you sitting in your car at your break at work? Are you at home by a fireplace? What are you doing? I'm going to read every comment and respond in the next episode. But yeah, we're looking to live a long Dayz life. It would be awesome if she could survive until the next wipe. But that's going to be pretty tough, especially running around in the dark with a glow stick. Half the map can see you. How do you play Dayz? What's your route? Do you have a loot route? Do you try to get geared up real fast? Do you like staying on the coast and mixing it up with the survivors on the coast? You know, the ones that are desperate. How do you play Dayz? That's what I want to know. How would you survive in real life? I've asked that question on the channel before, but it's so fun to read back people's comments on that one. Let's say the zombie apocalypse hit right here, right now. Whatever you're doing, you're watching this video and it just goes off. Power's off. Grid is down. Internet's off. And the zombies are starting to roam the streets. You gonna hunker down? You gonna hit the road? You got a bug out plan? You gonna get together with other members of your community? What's your plan? What would you do? I know you think about it. If you didn't think about it, you probably wouldn't play Dayz. I would load up my Pathfinder in the garage. It's a 2005. I'd pack the trunk of it as full as I can with food and survival items, but I wouldn't leave. I'd stay home as long as possible. And then when I absolutely have to leave, then I'll bug out. It's got an all-wheel drive. It's pretty cool. But I got a family. I got kids. I can't just hit the road right away. I imagine most of us would hunker down as long as possible. And here we are. This is Niznoi, I believe. And in this series, there may be times where I just, stop talking. Let you listen to the sights and sounds of the game. Knowing me, that's probably not going to be very often. Self-burn. Yeah, so how would you survive for real? Hit the road, never stopping, going to a bug-out place, hunkering down at home. Like I said, her name, we'll call her Dove, but I don't know. You got a better name, maybe next episode we change it. Dove is more like a nickname. Let's make Dove her nickname. We'll put her real name in the comments. I'll pick one. I'll pick a first name and a last name. Eating some animal crackers. Remember those animal crackers with the pink frosting on it? Did you ever have those? Those were amazing. Animal crackers are good. But those ones with like the little pink frosting on it, next level. Next level. All right, knocking out zombies. In this game, if I can knock them out, I find it's a decent source of food right off the bat. All right, let's hit them through the wall here. Little life hack in the apocalypse. Punching zombies through the wall. Yeah, so we'll call her Dove. What was your nickname? Do you have a nickname? I had a nickname. As a kid, didn't care for it real much. Everyone called me that. I was a good baseball player in the whole baseball team. I always made the all-star team. And we won New York State as all-star. And my years in the all-stars, got to take that next regional step in the Little League World Series, and we got smoked there. But everyone on the team called me Bird Turd as a nickname for you. They liked me. That's the weird thing. I didn't like the nickname. Kind of sounds like my last name, which I'll leave off the video for now. Not that it's a bad last name. I love my last name. It's not a beautiful last name. It's kind of a rugged last name. Maybe if you ask me, I'll say it next episode. But it's a little play on my last name to say, a bird turd. Hey, bird turd. Do you have a nickname? Is it like Buddy? Or, Amp? Booger? Feels like something like, if you're your youngest child, your dad or your uncle call you Booger, or something like that. So far, so good. I actually like this flannel shirt. I would actually wear that in real life. Helmet's just practical right now. I think it helps soften the blow a little bit. But I would wear that shirt. That's a good shirt. Love a good shirt. We don't need the Christmas lights just yet, although maybe in the future we'll be able to have the luxury of Christmas lights. Getting something to drink at the well. All the time it reminds me of my Coach Camilleri from when I was in elementary school. We'd go to get a drink at the well. Not at the well. I'm not that old. At the water fountain. And Coach Camilleri would be there counting. We'd stand in line. Because this was before the days of everyone bring a water bottle to school. You know, everyone has Stanleys. We didn't have those. We didn't even have like the disposable water bottles that everyone has now. Didn't even have those. I don't remember those being a thing when I was a kid. So we'd be at the water fountain after PE all sweaty from some dodgeball or some capture the flag was my favorite. And I was, this is terrifying here. I'll tell you something, I was terrified in PE in a minute, but let's see how Dove can get out of this jam. Throw the right hook and escape when I'm hunkered down. Throw the right hook, boom, and then sidestep it. Yeah, that would have killed me once upon a time, or at least put me uncon. But ripped up my shirt, that's no good. Yeah, so I was terrified back in the day of the ropes in PE. Let me know if you did the ropes in PE. That's for sure. Where you have to climb up the rope to the top of the gymnasium and touch that beam. And we'd get like a little shock from the like static electricity that builds up. I can't believe they had us doing that back in the day. But they did. I just had to bandage up. No, I made hand wrappings. Yeah, that was terrifying. They had the rope with the knots, and then they just had the rope. And I remember only Adam Daniels and a kid named Andrew Powell. They could do the rope without the knots, and both those kids, they were just really good athletes, and by today's standards, they would have been like diagnosed with ADHD. You know, and back then they didn't call it that. You know, just whatever. The kids were athletes, but they would scale that rope. I was alright. I was a good athlete. I was quick, but I was terrified of those ropes. I could do the knotted rope and get to the top, but man, that was terrifying. I think that's why I'm afraid of heights today. Not to worry, if you fall, you have that half-inch thick mat, that gym mat to fall on. I remember Tina Gross fell and broke her ankle. It wasn't good. She was only about 2 feet off the ground, but somehow she still broke her ankle. She didn't get very high. Oh, man. Let's get these dudes trapped in here. Let's get these dudes trapped. Let's knock this one out. Man, I feel like I am really pushing the limits here. Really pushing it, because someone could be listening to all this ruckus that I'm making. For sure. Well, one of the things that I intend to make this series unique is the fact that we can get to know each other. You know, if you want to join the Discord and play with the game with the guys that I often game with on the channel, do some of our crazy missions and playthroughs and stuff like that. But really, it's just a chance to slow down. It's not run around PvP, million cuts and edits. The uniqueness of this is you could probably actually not watch it at all, just listen to it. But to know each other. Where did you grow up? What was it like? I grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. It was wonderful. No cell phones, no internet, Life was different. Life was slow. Life was beautiful. It was great. I think I could go back to that. I think the thing I'd miss most is Dayz. I don't think I'd miss much else about the internet. I'm not on social media or anything like that. But yeah, growing up, upstate New York, and when I was born, my parents lived in a tiny, tiny apartment in the attic of an antique store. It was an attic that was converted into an apartment. They didn't have two nickels to rub together, so a lot of my childhood, there wasn't much money, but they were very involved. Mom and Dad loved me very much. We'd go to parks, we'd go on bike rides, play basketball, play baseball. My dad taught me, and as I grew, he'd work with me and teach me, and always volunteer to be a coach or an assistant coach, and it was just great. It was great, like the Little League World Series, got to play in that. I mean, we didn't get to the televised portion, but it was just a really good childhood. And as I grew older, Mom and Dad made more money, and by the time I was in high school, it was kind of a normal life, living in a normal, one family home kind of thing. But it was good, in the 80s, 90s, in 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, into high school, it was the neighborhood kids. The neighborhood kids were my friends. We'd be out in the dark, running around like Dove here, playing manhunt, like capture the flag in the dark. It was cool. It was a good time. Going to parks and playing ball. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't grow up now with iPads and everything. What was your childhood like? What were your hobbies? What was your family like? Where'd you grow up? Those would be cool to read. And you can ask questions too. In the comments, if you ask a question, I'm going to answer it. It could be about me. It could be about everybody in the comment section. It could be about nothing at all. But I'll answer it in the next episode, and I'll see if we can get other people to answer it in the next episode. I try to put a little bit of a unique spin on the things that I do. And the unique spin here, I'm really thinking about getting that vest. There it is. It's not just to be dumb, guys. It's because it does provide a little layer of warmth. And as you can see, she's struggling to stay warm. So there is a method to the madness here. Knocking out zombies, getting our nourishment. But yeah, ask questions. I'll answer them. Maybe others would want to answer them as well. We have time in this series. I'm just watching it play back like you are. We have time. Oh, yeah. I like a good ski mask in the apocalypse. But again, struggling with warmth. The green helmet, the orange reflective vest, the blue shirt, the pink stripe. It's ridiculous. Okay, hoodie. Hoodie's solid. Got a potato. Got a sack. You can get a sack of potatoes. I'm trying to remember what I need to turn that burlap sack into a backpack. I can never remember. I think I need rope and sticks, and I don't have rope. I have a saw. I have a stack of rags. I think that was a miss. I could have crafted a rope. Yeah, I should have crafted a rope. We need 2 stacks of 6 rags to craft a rope. Yeah, that's a miss on my part. If you notice the intro, I think that was pretty cool. It subtly tells, maybe it's not so subtle. I thought it was subtle. But it subtly tells Dove's story there from the time she was a little kid, turbulence and war in that first one, and then she's maybe a teenager and surviving in the apocalypse. And then she's a little bit older with the gun by the brick wall. And then she's probably in her mid-20s by the end, and she's sitting by a campfire by a lake. And the last one, there's a cabin in the background. And I'm kind of hoping that that's her story arc, that that's what we can do. That we can get to that point where we're surviving by a lake with good gear and a home. But right now we got the beautiful, beautiful hustle of early game Dayz. And I absolutely love early game Dayz. Sometimes you can get where it's all, everything's done, you have everything, you have 5 of everything. And, maybe you're a PvPer or a base raider, and that's what you can do. But I like the early and mid game, and I like to have an ending. Okay, well, we'll end it here. This one goes until she dies or until the next wipe. So we're not in any hurry. Not in any hurry. I think I need to know if we're going to continue on like this, if you're going to follow this series. I think I need to know if I have any Office fans. If I have any Office fans watching. The television show The Office, if you watch the British one, let me know. But the American one, Michael Scott, Dwight Schrute, Jim Halpert. Do I have any Office fans watching? I'm an Office fan. It's probably my favorite comedy of all time. What's your favorite comedy? And if you do watch, who's your favorite character? Let me know that in the comments. Let me know that in the comments. Guess who my favorite character is, and I'll let you know next episode if I'm right. Unless no one guesses, then I'll probably forget that I even asked. But let me know in the comments who you think my favorite character is. Who's your favorite character? Picked up that barbed wire right there. A little Negan-esque. Negan. Now this is tempting right here. Took it, no problem. I like the propane. I like the gas stove setup. Steak knife. Dude, we're getting some good stuff here. Yeah, I like the gas stove setup. If I can get that rigged up with a cooking pot or a pan, then you don't have to make fires. You don't have to worry about smoke. You don't have to worry as much about light. It's pretty quiet. It's a lot to carry. 12 spaces that took up. The sun is rising. Twilight, right? Is that twilight? Is twilight the beginning of the day or the end of the day? I'm not talking about the movie. I've never seen the movie. If I did, I'd never admit it. Not to you. Not to no one. Oh, there's a cow sitting there. There's a bunch of cows. Man, it'd be good to get a cow. Get all them steakums. So I'm heading up here really looking for a rifle of some kind so I can come back and get those cows. I did think about chasing one around with a knife, but that's just a fruitless endeavor. I mean, you got to hit it so many times. It takes so long. I'm already in yellow in the food category. I'll just take in a nice view. Hope to find some more canned foods, some pajka. Maybe come back with a rifle. Maybe. But look at that. What a game. Where's the most beautiful place you've been? In real life. In real life. I've been to Sedona this summer. That place is beautiful. Washington State. Beautiful. Shout out to my guy Gior Phil. Shout out to my guy Java up there in Washington. Washington State, those evergreen trees after sunset, you see the silhouette, or in the morning when the fog is hanging in them. That's beautiful. Never been to Alaska. I'd like to get to Alaska. It's the most beautiful place you can recall, just off the top of your head. I want that hatchet, but I don't know if I got enough space. Look at all this crap. I got the dumbest crap in my inventory. Yeah, I don't need the glow stick anymore. Am I going to pick it up? I can't remember. I think I leave it. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, Snoqualmie Falls. That's a beautiful place in Washington. Slide Rock Park in Arizona. That's a beautiful place. Hawaii. Anywhere in Hawaii. That's a beautiful place. Ooh, a pear. A dry one and a regular one. Okay, so this could be fun. Guess my time of death. What hour will I die in? What are we, 19 minutes in right now? There is typically between 9 and 20 players on this server. I haven't seen under 9 very often, and I haven't seen over 20 very often, although it could. So if that factors in. Wow, look at that. Would you just look at it? What a game. The scope of this game. I don't know that I ever complain about the shortcomings of this game because I feel like they really went for it. That's great. Yeah, so guess, how long is she going to live? We still need a first and last name. Dove is just a nickname. So I'm going to read through them and pick a first name, pick a last name based on your suggestions. Hopefully you'll make some suggestions and I'm not talking to myself this whole time. It's kind of the beauty of the channel, the size of my channel. It's not so big that you just get lost in the comments. I literally try to read every comment, try to respond to every comment. But it's not so small that there's, nothing going on. I hope you guys are going to be tracking with me. This will be fun. Slow pace. But when something pops off, it's going to be an adrenaline dump. That's for sure. That's for sure. A hammer, I'm tempted, but I don't have a backpack yet. I'm still just taking in the sights. Look at that. Incredible. What's the longest you've had a survivor? Have you had one for like a few months or a year? How busy was that server? So we're kind of approaching Berezino. That area is sunrise. Next episode will be a daylight episode. Thanks for sticking with this nighttime episode. I appreciate that big time. Big time. Oh, we still got to survive a few more minutes. Maybe this episode's so short because we're about to see the "You are dead." Those 3 words. Ha! Every survivor begins and ends the same. You are dead. I love this. Love this game. Growing up, it was Super Mario Brothers on Nintendo Entertainment System. When Mario Brothers 2 came out, man, I freaked out. Neighbors had it. I couldn't get it. Like I said, we didn't have a lot of money, and it drove me nuts. I was obsessed with it. But I couldn't play it. I could just watch the neighbor play it every now and then. Eventually got it. Eventually. I think junior high and early high school, it was a lot about NBA Jam. Remember, he's on fire. I don't want to use the hatchet here. It doesn't have much life in it. I think I'll go fist. 1v1. 1v1. Technically, I don't think these are zombies, right? They're infected. But we can call them zombies. It's whatever. Got him. I knew a guy in the Pacific Northwest who had some nails, who had a puffy coat like that, yellow. His name was Virgil. So every time I see that dude with the puffy coat, I think of Virgil, my friend. Can opener and a broom. Brooms are good when you're cold. You light them up and run around. You get hot. You get warmed up. Also gets you dry pretty quick. But just chowing through this unknown food. Are you someone that can eat expired food? That's a special ability. That's a special person right there. Like if the milk has expired that day, do you drink it? Or are you like, nah, day early, I'm done, I'm out, I'm not risking it? Even just the thought of it to me, like, I'm not going to enjoy the milk because I'll be thinking about, is this any good? The whole time. Like, I'll be like, I'll be smelling it, and I'm just not enjoying it. So, if it was a survival situation, for sure. Like, I have 200,000 calories in canned foods. That's not a lot. It sounds like a lot. But I counted it, stored away, like, not necessarily for a zombie apocalypse, as cool as that may be, but, I'm in an earthquake zone. Could be a grid down, could be can't get out, don't leave your house, could be natural disaster. And like I said, I don't want my kids to go hungry. So we got our normal foods, and a freezer and stuff, and then on top of that, an extra 200,000. And some of that I think is expired, but it's canned, and I would definitely eat it. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode. If you liked it, hit a thumbs up. Make some comments down below. Give me something to talk about next episode. 24 minutes survived, and we're going to keep track of that. And while you're here, check out one of these videos or the merch store. I don't want to oversell it, but it's pretty much the greatest shirts ever made. I think that's pretty accurate. Psalm 23:4, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. It's in the Bible, and it's in the game. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with another episode real soon.